Hello everyone and welcome back to a Code Realize video. We're in Code Realize Wintertide Miracles, which is the third game of the series. And I've already done one of these stories, but I decided to add the theme songs to every single one of them just in case it's not your first one. Like, this is the second video, but if this is your first video, then you can have the theme songs for that as well. We're going to be Cardia again, and we're going to be doing another Christmas story. I don't have much time until Christmas. It's the 22nd. So I think we're going to do... We already did Victor's. And I wanted to do Lupin's and Saint-Germain because I think they're just adorable. And I love how they speak to her. Like, they speak very formally, very gentlemanly to her. And I really enjoy it. I know MPs will probably be cute too. Unfortunately, Van Helsing is probably my least favorite character. Not that he's a bad character or anything, but he's just... He has the most character development, but I feel like he doesn't have much feelings on the surface. And, I mean, Saint-Germain doesn't really either, but he finds everything amusing, which I think counteracts the lack of emotions on the outside. But since Saint-Germain is my favorite, so we did Victor's first last time, we're going to do Saint-Germain today. Code Realize. A terrorist plot that threatened the entire world, masterminded by the genius scientist Isaac Beckford, the modern Prometheus. His desire was to become a god over humanity. His madness drove his desires to push civilization into enduring a global war. The cornerstone of this terrible plan was me, the daughter of Isaac, Cardia. Embedded in my chest, blossoming like some terrible flower, was the precursor to the Philosopher's Stone, the Horologium. This false heart, eternally beating with its poison running through me, is my curse. However, after having someone to reach out to without anyone being there to reach out to me, I fate to live my life as a monster. That quietly began to change the day I took the hand of a gentleman thief. Then to search for my father and to discover the purpose of my being born. I came to the city of still London, where I met many of my friends. Magnificent gentleman thief Arsène Lupin. The dream-chasing genius engineer MP Barbicane. The sin-bearing alchemist Victor Frankenstein. The mysterious elegant noble Saint-Germain. The war hero dubbed as the human weapon Abraham Van Helsing. Meeting each of them, the countless days I spent with them, this helped me to nurture the love in my heart when I thought I was but a doll. The things that gave me warmth to my body when I thought myself a monster. This is why I was able to save him, my brother who suffered, yearning for love. Why I was able to make that confrontation with the scientist who met a wretched fate, driven mad by his lost love. In the end, Father's mad plans vanished into the sky along with his desires. I since returned to my home in Wales, where I now live with my little brother Finis. At times my friends visit me, and at others I go visit them. However, my brother and I usually spend our days together in peace. And just when I've begun to get used to this newfound lifestyle, winter and its crisp air had arrived sooner than I could realize. Every breath, a white cloud in the winter cold, and the wind brings with it its frosty bite now. It's a season that is inherently quiet, inherently lonely, but I'm certain this town cares not for the cold and is filled with liveliness today as usual. No, in fact, this winter will be more exciting than ever. It was only a few days ago that I found out. This year, it seems London is planning a grand Christmas celebration to coincide with the unveiling of the Reconstruction Memorial. Led by Queen Victoria, Christmas trees will adorn streets all throughout the city. There will be many stalls at the Christmas market as well. If the city is decorated with holiday colors, I'm sure it'll look more beautiful than usual. On such a joyful day as that, it is hard to picture Lupin and his fun-loving crew simply sitting by doing nothing. Something is bound to happen when Christmas arrives, that much is certain. My chest is full of excitement as I think of the holiday that is fast approaching. Yes, this is the story of a particular Christmas that occurred in a darling Wintertide London. So it's interesting that so far the stories have started out exactly the same, Victor's and Saint-Germain's. And if all of them start out the same, that could save me 5 minutes of reading. So I could just take the intro that I read here and put it into all of them, especially since I didn't do any commentary in between. And I don't know if I did commentary in the first one or not. But anyway, these stories take place after Finis's route in the second game, Future Blessings. And it's a route that she didn't develop any feelings for any of the characters. She got a happy ever after with her brother. And in Victor's, it was his regrets for not saying anything when she left. And it's probably going to be similar to each of the characters. They don't have any feelings for her, and they're going to be, I guess they're going to be reaching out to her for like the Christmas season or whatever. I'm not certain how many times I have felt this way, however. Every time I come here, it returns. The thought that this place does not change. The soft wind plucking the branches and leaves constantly flowing about a set point. Without ever being tired of doing so, the birds chirp for people in the way that they always do. Deep within the forest of fog, the main base of the secret organization idea. Today, like any other day, a peace coming from a tiny garden one might think eternal resides. Whether the world may be exposed to calamity, whether the time of a great innovation arrives, this land as it has been left behind by time, it continues to exist without change. Yes, even though just the other day a battle determining the fate of the world had occurred. We get a full screenshot of Saint-Germain's new outfit. I was expecting his eyes to be closed as well.
季節が巡るほどの時間が経った以上、もうつい先日とは言えませんか。
そうね。私たちにはほんの刹那でも、人の子には十分長い時間でしょう。
The leader of IDEA, a group that guides history, and the owner of this miniature garden omnibus. With a calm smile, she slowly sips her cup of black tea.
不思議なものね、サン。世界を破滅に導く忌まわしい計画の阻止には、最悪の鍵となる双子の抹消が不可欠だったはず。にもかかわらず、こうして計画はついえ、双子はどちらも生存している。まさかこんな未来が待っていたなんて、私自身想像すらしていなかったわ。自信が揺らいでしまいそう。冗談よ、リリス。この結果に少し驚いただけ。さあ、遊んでいらっしゃい。
Lilith, who was next to Omnibus, makes a single cry and dashes into the wide garden. The old woman smiles to herself as she watches Lilith among the flowers.
驚いたのは私もですよ、オムニブス。あなたの予言が外れたことなど、私の記憶にある限り一度もありませんから。
そうね。今この未来も本来なら訪れるはずのないものだった。
ですが、こうして迎えてしまった以上、それはもう否定のしようがない事実。違いますか？
Most likely, the future the omnibus saw was supposed to be the proper course of history. But the reason such a different form had shown was due to the intersection of many factors. This includes the twins bound by fate and the members of the Lupin's crew, the Lupin's crew, Queen Victoria, as well as many others who live in London. And finally, due to Idea's apostles reaching for that small possibility. Such an unpredicted new fate was pulled in. Disregarding whether that was actually the case, this was the one way I could think of it. The only way, sorry.
月並みな言葉を使うなら、私たちを含めた一人一人の行動があなたの予言した運命を変えた。それこそまさに奇跡だったのでしょう。
奇跡ね。久しく馴染みのなかった言葉だわ。
Omnibus speaks quietly as she brings the tea to her mouth slowly, as if to meditate on those words.
報告がまだだったわね。さん、ロンドンの様子はどう？
復興は順調に進んでいますよ。事件の際、各所に散った使徒が被害を抑えたのも大きいのでしょう。ノーチラスの砲撃による爪痕が完全に消える日も遠くないかと。
Also saying that the damage happened right before her eyes, seeing the world is becoming weary of war. Queen Victoria is currently leading her policy towards a peace treaty. United Kingdom, the greatest military power, turns from its old policy towards peace. Looking closely at the turning point of history, Omnibus makes a light nod.
この機に行動を起こす国が出ないか、多少の懸念はあったけれど、そこも各国に派遣しておいた人たちが戦争へつながる軽率な動きを抑えてくれた。ひとまず当面の危機は去ったと見てよさそうね。
では、これで一段落ということですか。
Even so, I sent a silent prayer out for the few who had become victims. Omnibus gently returned the teacup once she finished hearing my report.
さて、あとは、そうね。カルディアとフィーニス、あの兄弟の処遇だけれど、ホロロギウムの力が失われた以上、あの子が最悪の種となる可能性は極めて低くなった。完全に目を離すわけではないけれど、妙な動きさえなければ放置という形で問題ないでしょう。
となると、もう今後は定期的な監視も不要ということですか。
That would be something that she would never say in the first game. That is definitely good news for those who desire a peaceful life. It is good news, but at the same time, I suddenly think, ever since that incident, Hansel and I have been checking in to see how they were doing under the pretext of regular surveillance. However, if we're relieved of that position, then we won't have that pretext anymore. For me, that was quite unfortunate to hear. Oh.
何やら残念そうね。
He wants a reason to see her.
別に会いに行きたければ行きなさいな。今さら理由や建前なんて気にすることでもないでしょうに。
いえ、兄弟水入らずのところ、必要以上に干渉するつもりはありません。それに、フィーニスの方は、私と顔を合わせるとなると、心中複雑でしょうから。
Oh, yes, he certainly would. Saint-Germain's killed him once, and then they had a fierce battle inside the Nautilus. Yeah, I don't think Finis wants to see you anytime soon. Yes, though unavoidable due to my position, I have brought many deaths to the Finises during that battle. If he, the last remaining of them all, held some reservations towards me, then it is only natural. Doing so was the only way to salvation for those Finises. If I can isolate my feelings, like Hansel said, then it would take a weight off my mind, but no matter what, my current self cannot seem to do the things I have been able to until now. Before, it was very natural to separate myself from necessary victims.
それより、オムニブス。私の次の任務は、一体何を？そのために、私を呼んだのでしょ？
そうね。してもらいたいことならいろいろとあるのだけれど。
Closing her eyes and shifting in her wheelchair, Omnibus seems to be thinking about something. The words that are spoken at the end of the short silence are,
イデアの首都サンジェルマン。イデア総帥として次の指令を下します。
Those sounds like words of absolute.
しばらくの間、お休みを取りなさいな。
That's cute. She ordered him to take a break. During my long life as an apostle, I have never taken a mission like this. He's stunned. What do you do now? Oh yeah, I think he gets like really bored in this one because he has nothing to do. Leaving the house the omnibus lives in, I walk through the forest where the fog drifts. There's no need to search nor follow a path. One will get through eventually. The space works in that way.
なんとも変わりましたね。オムニブスも。
The leader of Idea Omnibus until now was in command to make sure to crush the omens of ruins that she predicted. There's no room for uncertainty to be mixed in among those commands. Before I am sure that she would refuse a word such as miracle, which could not be measured. However, the version of her I saw just now did not deny it, and had even smiled as if she was happy.
まあ、変わったというなら、私も言えたことではありませんか。
After bringing Cardia and Lupin's crew to observe at the mansion as ordered. Though I was ordered to kill her, I prolonged her destruction many times. The objective was always to kill the twins, and there was no point in killing her first. She was the bait to lure her brother Finis, so it was too early to kill her. Piling such excuses on top of each other, at the end, I wished to save those twins, even if I had to go against Idea's orders. Before that one instance, I was always able to perform my mission in a detached manner, but... My goodness, what has come over me.
どれもこれも彼らのカルディアさんの影響ですかね。
She has worked her way into your heart. The days I've spent with them in the mansion, the noise of the daily lives that I hold so dear. They had brought me something. My heart was dead to the living for so long. This is why right now, even just a little, I cannot help but feel nervous to go back. Because...
おや、気づけばもうロンドンですか。
As I ponder, my sight suddenly becomes bright. Beyond the edge of the fog of forest is the forest area of Greater London. I squint my eyes against the sunlight passing through the leaves. There is no rest for Idea's apostles. The world is constantly filled with bad omens, and it increases in number by the moment. But for her to tell me to take a break...
さて、突然降って湧いたこの休み、一体何をするべきでしょうかね。
Without finding answers to these questions, I continue walking towards the city of London. The mansion of Count Saint-Germain stands in the forest area of Middle London. From the cities of Rome to Paris, to the new continents of Asia or even Africa, I have mansions all across the world, but this mansion here in London is the one that is the most special to me. There's no need for me to explain how it came to be so special. Starting with Cardia, it's where we all gathered, Lupin's crew. The place we laughed, the place we lived, and where we encountered our fate. This is the only place I would call home. This is why I step into the hall as I take a look around. I say,
ただいま戻りました。
oh, I feel so bad for him. He has no one to welcome him home. As my voice ceases to echo, the curtain of silence fills the surroundings. What I hear instead is the slow, steady ticking of the grandfather clock. Even though I wait a moment standing in place, no response will break that silence. That's only natural. After all, in this house,
私の他には誰もいないのですから。
I would realize the mad plan by Isaac Beckford, the string that connected us, Lupin's crew. After the terrible plan that sought to destroy London as a stepping stone was halted, the members, each with their own objectives, began to walk their own separate paths.
もういい加減この静けさにも慣れないといけないのでしょうが。
I speak out loud as I change my clothes. I say that in an attempt to persuade myself, but I change my thoughts and walk down the hall. What should I be more concerned with is how exactly to spin this break. See, there's no walkthrough for this, so I don't know what go out on a journey will do. He's probably just gonna go for a walk.
いっそ私も久しぶりに気ままな旅にでも出てみますかね。
In actuality, it's not a bad idea at all. I have flown all around the world in this long life of mine. Visiting towns I came to centuries ago would make me happy or sad to see how they have changed. Searching for views or skylines that have remained unchanged amidst the ones that I have. I believe this will provide a very fun time.
なかなか悪くない。そうと決まれば早速荷造りをして屋敷の留守を。
I trail off as I realize something. If I leave, then there will not be anyone at all in this mansion. Welcome back. If no one was here to greet someone who has returned home, if they were welcomed by the soft but unsatisfying silence. Aww. He doesn't want anyone else to meet the silence. I am sure that person would be saddened, especially if that person is that girl who knows very well the loneliness of solitude. Oh.
旅行はまた今度ですかね。
He's such a caring person. It is a foolish emotion if I say so myself. It is unlikely to say that she'll come here on a whim, but even so,
どうせ時間の有り余っている身。こんな休暇の使い方も悪くない。ならばひとまずのんびりと屋敷の掃除でもしながら過ごすとしましょうか。
You know what? Just in case, I'm going to go back and choose the spend time in the mansion, relax in the mansion.
美術館に足を運ぶ。屋敷の骨董品リストを作成する。読み損ねていた本を読破する。
I stop and list each idea, but none of them seem to feel right. Or rather, all the things I think up are things I could do on a normal day, and they do not feel appropriate for a long-term break.
休みだからこそできるような時間のかかることといえば。
I cannot think of anything. I'm surprised with myself. Was I always a person this horrible at utilizing his time?
仕方ありませんね。手近なところからやるとしますか。
He's such a lonely and sad person. I will start by cleaning the mansion. If I start doing something, then perhaps I will begin to find a thing or two that I want to do.
ああ、いつの間にやらもうだいぶ秋も深まってきましたか。この時期ばかりは定期的に履かないとすぐに落ち葉が溜まってしまいますね。
Since that day when Omnibus gave me the break, I have had too much time on my hands. I began with a deep cleaning of the mansion. It is quite a large building, but I have been cleaning regularly. I don't have very many things. Just lightly dusting off the rooms will suffice for most of them. Yes, but with a few exceptions.
やはり真っ先に片付けるべきはこの場所でしょうね。
Wooden boxes cluttered all over the place, the tools spilling out from all the sides. Many parts of unknown use scattered throughout the courtyard area called Impy's workshop. This workshop filled with various things was a manifestation of Impy's mind. I know he would resist a cleanup even if I forced it upon him, but now that the owner of the workshop is not here, it is the perfect chance for connection, or in other words, a proper cleaning. Correction.
では失礼しますよ、インピ。
That's funny. He politely lets himself in.
こちらはオートモービルの部品、予備のライトと蒸気圧シリンダー。これは確かカルディアさんに近づく危険人物を感知して警報を鳴らすとかいう鎮発明でしたか。てい。
That's funny.
私に反応して鳴ったということはきっと不良品だったのでしょうね。
That's funny. He broke it. Throwing it into the trash as I pretended not to understand what happened. I sorted out each object and continued cleaning up.
ルパンたちが帰ってくる前に掃除が終わればいいんですが。
It's been about half a month since the two of them set out. I'll be going to France for a while. There's someone that I would really like to report that could realize had been put to a stop. As Lupin said, he left with Impy, who was saying that he wanted to stock up on some high-performance parts made in France. I wonder if he has already met with that person by now.
よしよし、機体バランスは正常値だし、これで助手席の設置も完了っと。オッケー相棒、オーニソプターちゃんもこうして見事に2人乗り仕様に生まれ変わったし、これでもう今からだってフランスまで飛んでいけちゃうぜ。
おや、予定よりだいぶ早いですね。天才技師の面目躍如といったところですか。
へへ、当然ルパンのやつがフランスまで乗せてけって言った時はどうしようかと思ったけどさ、俺もちょうどオーニソプターちゃんの長距離飛行実験をしようと思ってたから、まあ渡りに船ってやつ。
ああ、突然で悪いなインピー。どうしても行きたいとこがあってよ。で、それはそうと、その助手席ってのはどこにあるんだ？まさかこの機体の下についてるブランコ的な何かじゃねえよな。ん？
さすが我が相棒、ご名答。いや、短距離ならまだ行けるにしても、基本この子って一人乗りなわけじゃん。そこでインピーさん考えました。ルパンは吊るして運べばいいじゃない。わお、スパナ投げるとか危ないっての。
Carry him in the ornithopter.
つうか、麗しき泥棒紳士様は暴力が嫌いじゃなかったのかよ。
うるせえ。今のは暴力じゃなく抗議だ、抗議。
Protest.
こんなご機嫌なブランコでドーバー海峡を渡れるわけねえだろうが、とっとと作り直しやがれ。
試しもしないうちから否定するのはよくありませんよ。とりあえず乗ってみてはいかがですか。まあ見た目だけで言うとロープで馬に引きずり回される犯罪者のようですが、あの様子ではしばらく滞在する予定でしょうし、帰りはまだ先でしょうかね。
Until then, it seems I will continue a quiet mansion life by myself for a while. Letting a small breath out, I stretched my hand towards the tools that had been left out. Day following my massive cleansing of Impy's workshop, the most difficult spot. The place that I had thought of cleaning up next was the room that contrasted the workshop. A simple, clean room that shows no signs of wear, a minimal amount of furniture. In the corner, neatly folded bedding is stacked up out of the way. The only things identifying the room's owner are the bandages and the medical equipment that were placed on the shelf just in case.
引っ越したとはいえ、何かあったときは泊まりに来ることもあるわけですし、もう少し私物の類を残しておいてもよかったんですけどね。フランも。
すみません。ありがとうございます、伯爵。今までお世話になっていたのに、荷造りまで手伝ってもらって。
固いことはいい子なしですよ。私は仲間としてできることをしているだけです。
ありがとうございます。
それにしても仮想街で診療所を開くとは随分思い切りましたね。
確かにそうですね。実を言うと政府機関からも誘われてはいたんですけど、最終的にはこっちを選びました。
それはまたどうして？研究室で新薬の開発をするのも立派な人々への貢献だと思いますが。
ええ、僕も恵まれた環境での研究を否定するつもりはありません。でも研究室に閉じこもっていては見えないものも届かないこともきっとたくさんあるから、僕は今回の件を通じてはっきりとそう学んだんです。だから人々が何を求め何を望むのか、診療所で人々と触れ合うのはそれを知るための第一歩なんです。
立派な考えです。では私から何か言うのも野暮ですね。ではせめてあなたの成功を祈って開業祝いの一つも贈りたいところですが。
あれ、シシ？どうしたの？そんなすり寄ってきて。
シシーも寂しいのでしょう。あなたと会えなくなってしまうことが。
すっかり懐いてくれたのは嬉しいけど、そう言われても。
そうだ、フラン、養育費も出しますし、よろしければシシーを引き取っていただけないでしょうか。
僕がですか？
ええ、私は任務で留守がちですし、ルパンたちもいなくなることは多い。その点あなたは定住するわけですし、何よりシシーは彼女を除けば一番あなたの言うことをよく聞きますから。
どうする？シシ、君もそれでいい？
So it has been quite some time since he left. There have been a few opportunities to see him in Lower London. Even still, I have not yet been able to see him due to the increasing popularity of his clinic. But I wonder if it would be okay to bring him a gift sometime.
ともあれ、喜ばしいことです。若者が自身で選んだ道を歩んでいくのは。
The young genius in the world of alchemy, Victor Frankenstein. There was one time Idea had been watching him for his abilities, but I'm sure that with his current mindset, he will no longer deviate from the right path. Holding such conviction, I start to wipe clean the windows. The next day and the day after, other than devoting myself to cleaning, ever so calm days of having nothing to do in particular passes by. I think to myself how ironic it is. Having been given a break from Idea now, what was also known as the symbol of stopped time, it feels like time has stopped even more than when I was on a mission. The only way I discern the days from passing is the gradual cleanliness of the rooms. The area I clean up today is around the gate of the mansion. Brick walls begin to bake under the sunlight. Even the parts of the fence that appear clean have paint cracking and peeling. However, I am not in the mind to completely rebuild or remodel it. Perhaps it is silly for me to be particular. If possible, when those who are out journeying return, this same gate should be here to welcome them. Yes, for example, just as I saw off those who left to protect the surviving vampires.
長い間世話になったな。伯爵、改めて礼を言わせてほしい。
無論、世も同じ気持ちだぞ。家族と故郷を失った我らにとって、この場所は第二の家と呼べるだろう。
その言葉だけで、礼としては十分に過ぎますよ。まさか、当初は敵対していたあなた方から、そのような言葉を聞ける日が来るとは。長生きはしてみるものですね。
柄でないのは自覚しているさ。
ロンドンを出て、まずは北に向かうのでしたね。
ふむ、あちらの方に逃げ延びた我らが一族がいると噂を聞いたのでな。この目で確かめに行ってくる。
なるほど。慣れない土地での旅ですし、くれぐれも気をつけて。
問題ない。旅なら慣れている。子守をしつつとなると、さすがに初めてだが。
誰が子供だ。貴様だって図体がでかいだけで中身は子供ではないか。
Body of a brute. And housing in directly the second, I saw them off on their journey from this gate. Out of all of Lupin's crew out on their journeys, I have the least opportunity to see those two. Although, according to their letters, the vampire protection activities have begun recently and it seems they have some time to spare.
次にロンドンへ来るのは、果たしていつになることやら。
Winter must be close. Looking up as these thoughts pass by, the sky above me feels far higher. From the mansion exterior to Impy's workshop, the hallway, living room, the members' rooms. The deep cleaning that I slowly work my way through starts to show signs of ending soon. Before I know it, there's only one other room that I have yet to touch. Cardia's room.
なんとなく予感はしていましたが、この部屋が最後になりましたか。
Or is it his library where he first met her? That it wasn't particularly intentional would perhaps be just an excuse. Stopping by in front of the door, I close my eyes and take a deep breath. This will be no different than the other rooms. Tidying up the room's things, clean the dust off, and then wipe the windows. Even so, I wonder why such an uncertainty arises within my heart.
いや、
I already have a vague understanding why. I am most likely...
お邪魔しますよ。 カルディアさん。
She is not here. She will not answer me. That fact is terribly heart-wrenching for me. Is that why he's been pushing it off? Pushing open the gate with hesitant hands, a soft, gentle fragrance tickles my nose. The one flower that blossoms in this mansion that none can be allowed to touch. The scent of that lovely girl who I hesitated to touch has gone somewhere out of reach. Oh? Saint-Germain, what's wrong? Why are you making that face?
カルディアさん。
Illuminated by the light from the window, she smiled with grace. Looking just as she did when she stayed here in this mansion. With the same smile, just like a flower, as the one she used to send my way. How? I should be the only one here. How can you be? My head has not caught up to this moment. My feelings begin to overflow from my chest. My legs take steps forward on their own.
カルディアさん。私は。
Getting closer to her, smiling before me, I quietly reach my trembling hand towards her. I want to touch you. A second, a moment, even for just an instant. I want to feel your warmth that would fill this void in my chest. However, my fleeting wish didn't reach, and she begins to fade and melt into the sunset. He wishes for her so much that he's hallucinating her. Small particles of dust dance in the lonely light that shone from the window. Only her belongings remain. The silence here continues and waits for her return.
アクチウムとは。我ながらどうかしていますね。
How much? How much did I truly expect for her to be here? Smiling self-derisively, I touched the cold window as I talked to myself. This pain is self-inflicted. If I was going to hold such feelings, back when I saw Miss Cardia off, I could have said so many other things.
カルディアちゃん、カルディアちゃん、カルディアちゃん。
Oh my gosh, I had turned down my volume.
寂しい気持ちはわかるけど、落ち着いてインピー。周りの人たちからの視線が痛いよ。
The light of the sun, reluctant to leave, colored the train that was preparing to depart. The day when Cardia's group decided to leave London and live in Wales. Twilight, the world is colored a lovely hue. We from Lupin's crew had all gathered at Waterloo Station to see them off.
天女はいつか天に帰っちゃうものだけど、やっぱり寂しいよ。
静かにしろインピー。別れを惜しむ気持ちは皆同じだ。
それに根性の別れじゃねえんだ。フランに体を見てもらうために定期的にロンドンへも来るって話だし、サンもイデアの任務でたまに様子見に行くんだろ。
ええ、ヘンゼルと一緒に。その時はお土産を持って伺いましょう。
僕としては家族団らんの邪魔をしてほしくないんだけど、ま、たまに来る分には茶の一つぐらい出してやってもいいよ。
He's so cute. I guess I can make some tea or something.
そこは素直に喜べばいいというのに。まったく貴様は最後の最後まで。
The sun increased its reddish hue as it shone upon the crew excitedly chattering. I'm sure that even if we part ways now, our bonds will never disappear. However, I wonder if there will be a time when the comrades here now will ever gather again. I shook my head and tossed away the doubt that moves my heart ever so slightly. Really, thank you, everyone. I'll write letters when I arrive in Wales. If you're ever in the area, please stop by. Containing the sadness of parting in her eyes, Miss Cardia says her words of thanks to each and every person. We had talked about how we'd miss each other at the mansion every day until today. And perhaps the reason why we hadn't really missed it enough yet was because, for us, her existence was so incredibly memorable.
Saて、時間だよ姉さん。挨拶の方はそろそろいい？
Oh, hold on for a second. After finishing her goodbyes with everyone, the last person that she came to was me, watching everyone from a distance.
カルディアさん、ついにこの時が来てしまいましたね。
Yeah, for everything since I've been in London until right now. Thank you, Saint-Germain.
それはこちらのセリフです。私はあなたにお礼を言われるようなことはしていませんよ。それどころか、一時は敵としてあなたの前に立ちふさがったのですから。
But in the end, you still saved me. You saved both me and Finis. That's why it makes me think again right now that it was because you were here that I was able to grasp this future. I am sure it's because I spent time with you that I was able to obtain the heart of a human. Along with the smile shining almost too brightly, she touches her chest and looks towards me. With her hands on the horologium, the beautiful flower gem, now powerless. That is why I am saying this, Saint-Germain. Thank you for these valuable emotions. These emotions that I am certain I never had, to laugh, be upset, to be sad, and for me to feel this way about... The words that she tried to form get drowned out by the train. In the midst of the sound of the steam that is so loud that we can't hear each other, even though we're right in front of each other, instead of the words that didn't reach, she was staring at me with wavering eyes.
私は
I must answer. Driven by such feelings, I open my mouth. But did I say something, or should I wait for her words once again? Such hesitance in that moment caused...
ああ、もう言わんこっちゃない。ほら、姉さん、時間早く。
Oh, I feel so bad for them. In the moment of his hesitation, I can feel my heart pounding too. They're both waiting for the other person to say something, and then Finis comes in and ruins it. And then they never get the chance again. Having my opportunity eternally taken away. Her hands pulled from me by a flustered Finis. I wonder what she wanted to say in that one moment she looked back at me. However, I would not have the chance to ask about it. Simultaneously, as Miss Cardia got on, the train slowly started to move.
また会おう、二人とも元気でな。
The steam that bursts out conceals her face as she stares towards us as she leans out the window.
私もきっとあなたのことが
The sound of the wheels moving drowns out my utterance. All these partings are so sad.
さようならレディ
It makes my heart break. I continue staring at the train that departed. If I had more time now, would I have said something different? Also, why is he saying farewell like that if he's going to go be checking on them with Hansel? He'll see her. As I ask myself such questions that I do not have the answer.
やれやれ気づけばもうこんな時間ですか
It is probably because I have been lost in thought for some time, but It is already that time when moonlight shines in from the window, the night descends. After clearing Miss Cardia's room, I sit in the common room.
さて、これで本格的にやることがなくなってしまいましたね。明日からはこの退屈な時間をどうやって過ごせばいいのやら。
I tilt my head in question and direct my eyes to the corner of the room. Displayed there are precious memories. The centuries I spent as an apostle cannot even begin to measure up to the bright days contained with a single photo sitting there. Lupin Van Helsing, Victor, Impy, the ones who hold the key of fate drawn together by Omnibus's prophecy. And the person in the middle of it, a girl of poison, the grave calamity.
もっともこの笑顔を見たら、そんなことは誰も信じないでしょうね。
Winner, the Impy's princess manservants. That's funny. For us, I wonder if her existence was bigger than anything else. A girl born as an isolated doll who desperately struggled for her wish to and confronted her fate. We spent our days with her. She always smiled. Every one of us wanted to protect her. Every one of us loved her dearly. Even myself, who was supposed to stop the plan, even if I had to kill her.
感情とはこうもままならないものでしたか。彼女を殺せなかったその時には、もう私は。
If you guys haven't seen his route in the first game, you really should, because it is heartbreaking. When they're on the bridge and he realizes he can't kill her. Although if you're watching this one, I'm assuming you've already seen the first game or read it. I knew I was drawn to her beauty to live, her beauty to be strong. As I step towards the photo, I touch its surface gently. Soon, this mansion will not be a place to come home to, only a place to stop by. From now on, they will come and go as guests, and I will see them off as guests. And every time I am sure that I will have to restrain myself from stopping them from leaving. I can only hear the ticking of the clock as I stand in the entrance.
なんともらしくありませんね。連絡が絶えたわけでも、二度と会えないわけでもないのに、何をそんなに不安に思っているのか。
Something, not dry laughter nor a scoff, lodges itself in my throat. For me, to try and tell them what they should do in their future is something that shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be done, and yet the attachment quietly seeps into my chest and I soon feel as if I'm drowning.
そんな寂しそうな顔をするくらいなら、言葉に出した方がいい。サム。
I think he's afraid of outliving all of his friends again. He's been afraid of this in every single one of his routes up until now.
どうにも君は自分の望みに臆病すぎる。覚えておくといい。君自身が少し動くだけで、手が届くものは意外と多いのだよ。
This person that is speaking is the one that turned him into an apostle. He was tasked by Omnibus to kill him because he started researching the Philosopher's Stone way back when. For some reason, the words of the only person that I was ever able to call a friend from long ago came to mind.
こんな時にあの人のことを思い出すなんて。
No, in fact, perhaps because it is a time like this. This chilling sensation that pains my chest as if to be creaking, even though I'm not wounded or ill. It has not happened since I lost that friend.
はあ、なるほど。久しくこんな感情は忘れていましたが、これが寂しいという感情ですか。
The cold wind enters and shakes the window slightly as it brushes my cheek. The many years since losing my friend, and my comrades leaving less than a year later. The short amount of time that I have not been able to see her. Along with the winter, it pierces my chest and I begin to think about it once again. I wonder what she's doing right now. I wonder how she'd respond if she was here. She'd be smiling, her heart would be moved by every change of the season. The comrades around us would clamor as usual. No, I would not mind if there was such a clamor. Just spending time with them, I am sure it would be a joyous day. Aw, he's so lonely. Thinking about it like so, I could not be still any longer. Just move a little, and I could reach for it. Feeling bolstered by Trismegistus' words. I return to my room with quick pace and go straight to my desk to prepare my pen.
きっと以前の私だったら静かに待ち続けるだけだったのでしょうね。けれどせっかくの休みなのですから少し踏み出すのも悪くない。
Paper, pen, envelope. That's right, everything's here. I prepared just enough paper for everyone and began writing without hesitation.
背景親愛なる仲間たちへ。
Oh, it's not just Cardia. He's like, everyone must come. We must have one grand party. Therefore, time is something that runs away from us when you feel you need it the most. That is why I shall end this book with these words. Keep in mind that the ordinary is something most difficult to obtain again once it has been lost. Phew. After finishing the last line, I gently closed the book. My eyes are tired. I listen carefully. What do I hear? Owls in the night. The wind shakes the trees. Nighttime in Wales is very quiet compared to London, to the extent that it feels just slightly lonely.
姉さん、入るよ。はあ、明かりがついてたからひょっとしたらと思ってたけど、やっぱりまだ起きてたんだね。今何時だと思ってるのさ。
Oh, sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I started reading. I found myself sucked in.
はいはい。どうせそんなことだろうと思ったよ。
At the same time, Finnis entered. The smell of milk and honey did too. With a cup placed on a tray before me, I blinked my eyes in surprise. I can drink this.
はあ？何そのバカな質問。ホットミルクなんて飲む以外にどう使い道があるわけ？
Thank you. This blunt way of saying things hasn't changed even after we've been living together, but I feel like I've been getting used to the way Finnis talks and behaves. A quiet night in Wales. I take my time sipping the warm milk, enjoying it slowly. Finnis directed his eyes toward me.
で、こんな時間まで一体何の本読んでたのさ。
Silent. Nothing really. It's just a book about alchemy. What of it? Luma taught me perfect acting skills. I hide the book in my hands behind my back. Somehow Finnis seems to have seen right through me.
時々思うんだけどさ、姉さんってバカなんじゃない？
Ah. He takes the book away from me by force, and his expression contorts shortly after.
錬金術と普遍性の考察。著者、サンジェルマン伯爵。
That's cute. She's reading a book by Saint-Germain. And why has Finnish got that look on his face? It was a book from a father's private library written over 200 years ago. Facing the name of the author on the cover, Finnis sighs.
隠してるから何かと思えば、そういうことか。そういえばあいつ、最近来てないね。ヘンゼルのやつはたまに来るのに。
Yeah, so Saint-Germain's face just sort of came to mind. Ever since I came back to the house in Wales, since I started to live with Finnis, just as he said, Saint-Germain would sometimes visit our house together with Hansel. Of course, I know that it is also part of his surveillance mission as an idea's apostle. I do know that, yet I cannot help but feel ecstatic when he would come to visit me. But as Finnis mentioned, I haven't seen him in some time now. Whenever I asked Hansel on his visits, he would answer me as vaguely as possible. I wonder if something happened. Maybe Idea asked him to go on a huge mission or something. Saint-Germain and the others already explained to me about Idea and their missions. The secret society for shaping history, they eliminate those who distort the world. If that's the case even now, for the sake of world peace, he must go, or he must be.
そんな不安になることないでしょ。ヘンゼルのやつも言ってたじゃないか。姉さんの監視についてはもうほとんど必要なくなったって。だからまあ、来ないのもきっと。
His job to keep tabs over me is over. That really is why he has no need to see me anymore, if that is the case. My shoulders slumped down at the very thought I verbalized. The pain that runs through my chest is difficult to endure. I wonder if his coming here this whole time was just him doing his job. If that's the case, Saint-Germain, he will never come again. Sigh.
うっとうしい。何なんだよ姉さんは。
He yells as he points at me, his own face contorting.
ノーチラスの時には僕が何を言っても自分の気持ちを押し付けてきたくせに。
You know, right? This is different. This is romantic love.
自分のことになるともう二度と来ないって言われたわけでもないのにうだうだと。何姉さん、平和になったからって姉さんのくせに乙女ぶってるわけ？
You of all people. Those were unreasonably rude words. I feel it would be okay if I, the older sister, used this as an opportunity to guide my brother using wisdom given to me by Van Helsing. Though his conclusion and the way he said it was rough, I believe I understand his intent. Thank you, Finnis. You were trying to cheer me up, correct?
はいはい、おめでたいね。ま、姉さんがそう聞こえたんならそうなんじゃないの？
Finnis shrugs his shoulders as if he is disgusted.
ま、なんで最近来ないかなんて、それこそ今度会った時にでも直接問いただせばいいだけでしょ。
The next time I see him, if I ever do, so I think I'll wait until Saint-Germain comes, or I'll go see him myself. Let's see, let's go see him ourselves. Then I want to go see him. There's no way of knowing when he'll be coming back here unless I ask him myself. I couldn't possibly spend my days carrying such a restless feeling. Although I'm sure he'd be against it, going so suddenly to London. I glanced quickly towards him.
言うと思った。こういう時は本当に行動力あるよね、姉さんは。
And he scratches his head, his expression looking half defeated.
まあ今回についてはそもそも向こうから先に連絡が届いてるわけだけどね。
Yeah, I know. I was like, he wrote a letter, right? Huh? As he speaks, Finnis pulls out a fancy envelope. I open it and my eyes go wide. Along with the subtle fragrance of flowers, the words are written with such beautiful handwriting. December 24th, to Lupin's crew. Let us gather at Christmas at the mansion of Count Saint-Germain. This is...
見ての通りだよ。 サンジェルマンからの招待状。見なかったことにして暖炉の薪にしてやろうかと思ったけど、まあそういうわけにもいかないでしょ。
I know, don't be rude. Maybe go to London.
僕の大嫌いなあの伯爵の誘いっていうのが気に入らないけどね。
Do you still dislike Saint-Germain? I can empathize, I really can. Saint-Germain, Idea's apostle, he was Finis' enemy for some time. I was able to trust Saint-Germain as a member even after he drew his blade on me, but for Finis, Saint-Germain killed him many times. I'm confident that he must have mixed feelings whenever we meet. But as if to be staring at me inside, Finis shrugs his shoulders once again.
なんか勘違いしてるみたいだけど、敵だから苦手ってわけじゃないよ。敵だったから嫌いなんて言い出したら、今の僕たちはどうなるのさ。
I mean, that's true. But I feel you're more harsh with him compared to the others in the crew.
そんなの当然だよ。だってあいつ、明らかに姉さん。
He seems to have what? What? He has what?
いや、なんでもない。
Hmm. What's his train of thought here? I know he's probably talking about feelings, but is he talking about her feelings or his?
とにかく、そういう意味であいつを嫌ってるんじゃないってことだよ。
I wonder why he became so upset. I don't really understand what my brother is thinking about, but he was quite animated a moment ago. I feel relieved about Finis now. I see. Well, that's good then. After all, I want Saint-Germain and Finis to get along properly. I couldn't bear it if the two most important people in my life could not get along.
そもそもイデアって言うなら、ヘンゼルの方がよっぽど問題だよ。
Why? Because he kidnaps you and takes you to places like Egypt.
あいつなんて毎回敵も味方も気にせずうちに来て、お菓子を食べて帰ってくじゃないか。
Yeah, you might be right about that. In Hansel's words, it's apparently because he's your friend.
違うってば。というか、お菓子くれる相手は大体友達とみなしてるんじゃないの？
I mean, that's what my daughter does. She's like 16. Laughing with warm milk in one hand, I look up towards the moon outside of the window. The air is so clear tonight and it's so easy to see the moon and the stars. The first time I met Saint-Germain, the first time I opened up about my past, was on a moonlit night like this one. I wonder if he's looking up at the moon from the mansion in London right now. Back when I left for Wales, I couldn't tell him what I wanted to. One step's worth of distance between us, it felt so lonely to me. I wonder if my words got through to him. Nope. What was he trying to say back then? No matter how many times I saw him afterward, I couldn't ask him about it again. I still regret how we parted ways. It's not that I'm dissatisfied with anything in my life, but I do want to go to London. I want to see Saint-Germain and everyone else. And I want to hear what he was trying to say. We're just going to leave off right there. Back to Saint-Germain. Winter takes hold of the trees that line the street, robbing them of their precious green. Everyone walking in Main Street has their coat on, and they hunch over as they walk quickly down the road. Once mid-December passes, the citizens of London don their winter attire. One such day as the winter pressed in, there were guests I hadn't seen in some time here in my mansion.
サンが僕たちを呼び出すなんてすごく珍しい気がする。
それでサンジェルマン、今は任務から外れていると聞いたけれど、今日は一体何の用？
ええ、実は私一人では少々手の余る状況に陥りまして。
何でもそつなくこなすあなたが 応援を頼むなんてめったにない事態ね。よほどの汝ということかしら。
I have a feeling it's like something simple. A quiet tension runs through Guinevere's voice. In contrast, Hansel is his usual self. He leans on his charm item, the fork, with an absent-minded expression. I'm unable to tell if he is listening or not.
ではお二人とも説明する前にこちらを見ていただけますか。
After giving a respectful bow, I strip off the tablecloth over the table instantly. I must say, I have allowed a certain showboat of a gentleman thief to influence me. In any case, lined up on the table are many colorful parts of trees, flowers, and berries such as beer, cypress, and wild roses. Also, a loop-shaped floral decoration is laid for all to see.
屋敷に入る前からずっと花の香りが強かったし、何かと思ってたけど。
これは何？
Did you call them here for dinner?
見ての通りフラワーリースの材料ですよ。
I pretend to ignore the grand sigh she lets out that clearly says this wasn't what she meant. I take the example flower wreath in my hands.
ということでまずはリース作りです。材料は揃えてありますからご自由に。サイズはこの見本通りです。
That's cute. He calls these warriors over here to make flower wreaths.
待ちなさい。
時給は3チョコ？いや、5クッキーぐらい？まさか、5ビスケ
？Biscuits.
ヘンゼル、話がそれるから黙ってなさいね。とりあえず、いろいろ文句があるけれど、経緯は聞かせてもらえるのかしら？
Before I tell you everything that displeases me, this former queen has not taken well to jokes since the day I invited her to join. If I tease her too much, I am certain she will attack me mercilessly. I nod rather meekly in her direction.
何を隠そう手伝ってほしいのはクリスマスパーティーの準備なのです。
Oh, she took off her armor to work on him. And Hansel's eating in the background. She's so pretty. A vivid red and a calm green. Wrapping with a ribbon of contrasting colors, the walls of the room gradually become colorful. I immediately began decorating the room, answering their questions as I do so.
つまり、カルディアたちを呼んでパーティーを開くってこと？
ええ、あなたたちも知っての通り、一味は現在バラバラに行動しています。なので、久々に集まれたらと考えたのですが、全員が来られそうな日が
12月24日。だからクリスマスパーティーなのね。やられたわ。まさか私たちを手伝わせるのにオムニブスの許可まで取っていたなんて。
Guinevere without her usual intimidating armor, you see on her lap even. She carefully knits flowers together and sighs so we can all hear.
でも私たちである必要はないでしょ。近くには他の仲間もいるでしょうに。
他の面々はロンドンを離れていますし、フランも今リバプールの医学会に講演のため呼ばれていますからね。
ああ、だからワンちゃんも。
It's cute that Cece's taken with her.
とりあえずお母さんからの話なら僕とグレーテルは文句はないよ。もちろん後でお菓子とかケーキとかご褒美はたくさんもらうけど。
ええ、ご自由に。 なんならパーティーの当日に参加してくださっても構いませんよ。
後ろ向きに検討しておくわ。
Winifred shrugs as she surprisingly nimbly knits another wreath together.
しかし、彼らとの関係は任務の一環。そう言っていた頃のあなたからは想像もつかないような提案ね。
He loves his new friends. These are his favorite friends in his entire lifetime.
何か心境の変化でも？
They're not boring.
かもしれませんね。
I wonder if they would laugh at me if I spoke my feelings honestly. I'm one of Idea's apostles, unbound by time, yet I want to share my time with all of them.
さあ、もう少しです。一気に終わらせてしまいましょう。
These friends have made him feel the most alive in his entire undead days.
この歌詞は高くつくわよ。
たまにはこういうのもいいね。死とは一緒に動くこと少ないから。
Just as Guinevere stated, if I just needed help preparing, I had other means. I could even ask the Gordon family or any of my other acquaintances, but I probably chose to ask Hansel and Guinevere to help me because I may have wanted to tell my old allies from battle who carry the same loneliness about this humble but gigantic change that has come to me.
理由は何でもいいけど、僕は双子たちに会えるなら嬉しい。最近サンが屋敷に来ないって心配してたから。
More like Cardi has been worried.
そうですか。
他の一味の人とももう少し話ができたらと思う。みんな楽しそうな人たちばかり。
愉快な面々という意味なら私が保証しますよ。
I continue decorating as I converse with Hansel. I decorate the lively future that will be arriving very soon. Also anticipating how she would react here in this room where we will all gather again. I know we didn't get to have Saint-Germain's Christmas party in Victor's route. They planned it, but then the route didn't go past her meeting the parents, which was supposed to be like the day before the party or something. I really like decorating for Christmas, but I don't have very many decorations in my own house. I wish I was motivated to decorate like this because I really do like how it looks. It's very pretty. One of the biggest Christian holidays of the year, December 24th, what the world calls Christmas Eve, thanks to Hansel and Guinevere, who helped out even while complaining, the room is transformed. I vaguely stare at the Bible passage I had read countlessly.
天に増します我らが父は悪人にも善人にも太陽を昇らせまた正しいものにも正しくないものにも変わることなく雨を降らせてくださる。
Stop reading for a moment, directing my eyes towards the window. It appears before me as snow covering the city like a wall of chalk. It seems today's weather is unfavorable. Caught in an incredibly rare snowstorm, the city of London is dyed in total white.
寒くありませんか、シシ。
Calling to the dog curled before the fireplace, I looked down towards my pocket, watching my hand. Even the holiest night would fail to create a mood that could compete with a snowstorm. Not a single one has shown up yet, out of all the members who said they would come by noon. Aw, weather's getting to them. The city of London is not used to snow. The tiniest bit of snowfall stops the train and the carriages stop their services too. The only ones who would be outside right now would be the children curious of the icy wonder.
やれやれ、 私は天にまで嫌われていましたか。
I think they'll show up. Perhaps that cannot be helped. A voice in my heart whispers to me. Wielder of an immortal body, opposite humans who has massacred one person after the next. The holy text may describe us as equal, but if the heavens owned their blessings, surely I will not be given preference. Blessings will not fall on a sinner like me. Taking a look around, the completely decorated room celebrating Christmas comes into view. Swags with all colors of flowers on them hang along the walls. Flower knitted wreaths lay neatly on the table, newly purchased silverware. In the kitchen, a couple of dishes and wine sets are out, probably cold now. No matter how elaborately I prepare it, if only one person here were to enjoy it.
慣れないことをしてもろくなことがないといういい例ですね。
Just as Guinevere said, I must have changed. I have spent plenty of my Christmases all alone. It has been my norm until now. However, today, why does my heart ache so badly?
列車が止まったのだとしたら今日はもう誰も来ないでしょうし仕方ない。片付けるとしましょうか。シシ。シシ
He's like, no. Barking as if to object to my words, Cece pricks his ears and hops up suddenly. He runs over across the table with his short legs and jumps on me with full force. He just attacked him. He tackles me with all of his weight, but I managed to catch him. He caught me completely off guard, and I could not help but stagger backwards.
シシ、一体何のつもりで。
One who answers my question as I blink in confusion is not Cece, but...
やばー！ぶつかるぶつかるぶつかる！
Is he on the ornithopter?
うわー！
An impact shakes the mansion, coupled with a violently deafening noise. As I protect Cece, it lands right where I had stood moments ago. One of the windows to the garden shatters, bursting into smithereens. Oh my goodness, you're destroying his mansion. It comes crashing through as if it were craving broken glass as a familiar steel aircraft. Crashed it into his house, while the cold snow blows from the broken window. She was aboard too. How many people did you have aboard? I really thought I was dead this time. What comes out of the aircraft is a girl.
Cardia さん。
Oh, sorry, Saint-Germain. I didn't have such a grand entrance in mind for my return.
乗るんじゃなかった、乗るんじゃなかった、乗るんじゃなかった。
おい、聖夜に墜落事故とかシャレになってねえぞインピ。
仕方ないでしょうよ。こんな視界ゼロの猛吹雪なんだし。しかも4人だよ、4人乗り。操作ミスも仕方ないっちゅうの。
原因は定員オーバーじゃねえだろ。お前がロマンチックだねハニーとか言ってよそ見するから。
Sweet nothings.
まったく、姉さんに怪我がなかったからよかったものの。
Venice, Lupin, Impy. These members, evocative of such nostalgia, quarrel as they disembark the aircraft. I am sure my face that welcomed them must have looked quite silly.
さあ、遅くなって悪いな。先にインピーと帰る予定だったんだけどよ。雪で列車が立ち往生したって聞いたから、こいつら回収しに行ったら、このざまだ。
I know, he'd be so sad if Cardi didn't show up.
ああ、いえ、それはいいんですが。
Half surprised, half appalled, I stared blankly at the obliterated window and desperately tried to gather my thoughts. But before I could finish organizing them, another clamorous voice comes from down the hall.
なんださっきの轟音は。一体何があったのだ。
まさか屋敷を狙った事件とか。
Someone targeting the mansion.
ひとまず状況を確認しよう。無事か、伯爵。
Where'd you come from? The door swings open, revealing Van Helsing, Victor, and Deli. The trio blink twice, then thrice, in attempts to grasp the situation.
なるほどな。
The first one who seems to understand is...
原因は危険なテロリストのようだ。とりあえず、ここで始末しておくとしよ
う。This group cracks me up. Terrorists.
ちょっとバンちゃん、久しぶりの再会なのにどうしてそんなやる気満々なの。
とにかく怪我人はいないみたいだし、よかったのかな。
お前らも今着いたのか。いや、こっちは見ての通りでよ。ひでえもんだぜ。
I know Saint-Germain's window is broken, but since everyone's here, I think he could care less.
それは見ればわかる。と、すまんな伯爵。雪のせいでだいぶ遅れてしまって。
いいえ。
お、シシーも先に来ていたのか。さすがは我が配下だ。
These voices mixed together with the colors of the room in a most nostalgic harmony.
というかさ、なんでこいつらこの程度よくあることだしみたいな顔してるわけ。
Because it does. The silence is solitude from minutes ago are laughed off as if they never even existed. Well, things like this actually did happen pretty often, so...
僕が言うのもなんだけど、姉さんよくこいつらといて無事だったね。
This liveliness that doesn't even allow me a chance to breathe permeates my heart. But I am relieved that no one has changed. The daily life that used to be so ordinary just a while back. This is it. This is what I've been yearning for. He's so adorable. Saint-Germain. Oh.
さんちゃん、何どったの？なぜに爆笑？
どうした伯爵？飛んできた瓦礫で頭でも打ったか？
それなら僕が見るから、伯爵まずは椅子に座って。
いや、そうではなく。
The other members stare at me with quizzical looks, but I cannot seem to stop laughing.
気が緩んでしまったというか。
Really unlike my usual self. Now Saint-Germain, always known to keep cool, burst into laughter like this. As tears began streaming out of my eyes, I continued to laugh.
事情はよくわからんが、伯爵が楽しそうで何よりだ。
まったく、あなたたちと来たら出迎える演出まで考えていたのに、すっかり意味がなくなりましたよ。
Performance.
まあ、誰もオーニソプターで突っ込んでくるとか思わねえよな。
I have confirmed yet again, there is no way for even Omnibus who can see into the future to completely predict the actions of the crew. They exceed expectations every single time. That is essentially how Lupin's crew operates. Let me say this properly. I am home, Saint-Germain. His Cardia smiles grandly towards me. The members are all looking at me. That is why I gave the best bow I could muster to all the members gathered today.
おかえりなさい。カルディアさん。皆さん。
Taking a step into the room, a nostalgic mood embraces me. Not a thing has changed since the last time I visited London after the incident. I admire how carefully the room's been organized as I sit down gently on the bed. Now everyone from the crew is here, and they have all begun catching up, but we all hurried through the blizzard, freezing. Some of us had snow on our shoulders. We decided that we would celebrate our reunion after taking a breather. For the time being, we return to our rooms and take a moment to breathe. And take a nice hot shower. Well, other than Lupin and Impy who had to repair the window they broke. The room and decor are exactly the same as they were. Saint-Germain is so conscious of the details. An artist can be identified across many paintings, often in a glance. The lampshade that has the intricate decorations, the soft bed where a luxurious canopy spread. Just looking at these, I even get the illusion that I've returned to when I used to live in this mansion. But it may seem unchanged, but there are definitely things that are different. For example, this body of mine and my heart. I stand up and walk closer to the window before delicately touching the glass. Without melting, the cleared glass tells my fingers of the cold outside. I should make sure to talk to everyone later. About how happily I've been living now that the poison has gone. I want to know what sort of adventures Lupin and Impy had in France. I want to know what Delhi and Van Helsing saw in their travels through the United Kingdom. And of course I want to know at Victor's clinic and if Cece's been a good mascot. And Saint-Germain. With Saint-Germain especially, I have much to discuss. Oh, really? Oh, that idea. Well, that's unfortunate. About why he hasn't been coming over. About what he's up to right now. There you go. The number of topics went beyond what I could count on one hand. A sudden reserved knock resounded.
お邪魔しますよ。カルディアさん。
Speaking of, the door opened slowly after his warning. It was rare of the gentleman Saint-Germain to open a door without response, but I remained standing by the window as I turned towards him. Gonna have deja vu. In that moment, I hear a large gasp from him. Saint-Germain's eyes are open wide as he stares at me dumbfoundedly. Saint-Germain, why are you looking at me like that? He doesn't answer. With unsteady steps, he walks towards me. His expression feverish, he reaches out his hand towards me. Huh? My heart is unprepared as he pulls my body in swiftly. He places his hand on mine, bringing me closer, embracing my entire body, confirming his touch. I am captured by his arm instantly. It's definitely a lot more bold than Victor was on his first encounter.
カルディアさん。本当にあなたなのですね。
He hugs me tight. I need a moment for my head to catch up with my body experiencing this moment. Saint-Germain, what are you doing?
すみません。自分でも失礼だということは分かっています。ですが、今は話したくない。だからどうかもう少しこのままで。
If I was in her shoes, I'd be tearing up right now. I would be like, you can stay as long as you want. But
夢でも幻でもない。ここにあなたがいる。そのことが嬉しくて仕方がないのです。
Dream? Illusion? I didn't completely understand Saint-Germain's words, but there is a strength in his arms that hold me, a kindness in his tender voice. He doesn't want to let go, and that feeling is passed from his touch to the gem in my chest. As if to reply to that, I place my hands around him and rub his back. Yeah, I'm happy too. Happy to not be afraid of touching, of hugging you like this. It's fine. I really am right here. Hugging back as if to respond to him, Saint-Germain's body trembles in surprise. The words he speaks next almost seems like they weren't meant to be said. They are words that just spill out due to the state his body is in.
この屋敷にあなたがいないのはやはり寂しい。本当ならずっとそばにいてほしい。本当なら離れたくない。そう考えてしまうのは私のわがままでしょうか。
His words are uttered so naturally that my body trembles in surprise. Saint-Germain realizes his words quickly and tears himself from me before I can react.
失礼しました。
The cold wind slips into the space our bodies create as they separate. Wonder if this wind makes me feel lonely because I wanted more of his warmth.
つい思いが溢れてしまって。
Smiling as if to cover up how he feels, he turns his back without waiting for my reply.
さあ、そろそろパーティーが始まる時間です。先に行っていますから、準備が終わったら来てくださいね。
I did not know what to answer back, and I wanted to say something. The doors closed quietly as if to contain the words inside me. Inside the room where I am left alone, I stagger as I go sit on the bed. I touch my cheeks, and I can still feel Saint-Germain's warmth on them slightly. She's just overwhelmed with emotions right now. Beside him for all time. He said that. The heat on my cheek spreads throughout my entire body. If someone else has said those words, I do not think I would be stirred in the same way. Not to this extent. This is how much Saint-Germain's words had a genuine hue of seriousness mixed in. This is how much Saint-Germain's feelings wore a color of sincerity. It was to the extent that my heart, made by Jim, could not stop throbbing. I am happy with my life in Wales, that much is true. Very peaceful and happy days, calm and warm, are lived together with my dearest little brother. But for some reason, even while living my life in this way, there has never been a moment where this mansion in London left my heart. I am sure it was because of none other than Saint-Germain. It was because he was here. The long hand of the clock goes around twice by the time they finish the repairs. The dining hall would not do for a party, so we changed the location last minute. We gather once again in the common room, and there a tantalizing aroma that teases our stomachs floats in the air. Roast beef, meat pie, and the classic holiday dish, turkey. With the many dishes that Saint-Germain prepared and empty touched-up places placed before us.
じゃあまあ、再会を祝して。
乾杯!
With Lupin's cheer starting us off, the glasses clink and the party begins.
バン、それにドラちゃんも、遠路はるばるお疲れ様です。この雪の中、ここまで来るのは大変だったでしょう。列車も止まったと聞きましたし、下手をすると立ち往生だったのでは？
いや、実はロンドンには多少余裕を持って到着はしていた。ただ、先に所用をこなそうとしたら、運悪く雪が強まってきてな。
だから、要はあれほど早 く行こうと言ったではないか。それは土産にこだわりたいから雪など無視すればいいなどと。
その件については私も深く反省している。
ほほう、珍しく首相ではないか。ようやく貴様も進化としての自覚が。
私が想定していたよりお前の身長が低すぎた。まさかあの積雪で腰まで埋まるとはな。以後気をつける。
そこか？反省するポイントはそこなのか？
でもってそこで俺たちは凱旋門の上を走って愛機に飛び乗ったってわけ。俺の名はいや泥棒戦士フランケンシュタイン、また会おう敬愛なる警察諸君ってね。
あの時は傑作だったな。挑発しまくったせいかスリルもいつもの倍以上はあったし。
凱旋門の上で宣戦布告とか相変わらずやることが派手だね。でもそれよりだよ、そこでどうして僕の名前を使っちゃうのさ。
That's what he meant. Okay.
いやーとっさのことだったから俺も慌てちゃって。
Well, he is famous.
はあ、また冤罪の可能性が。しかも今度は仲間のせいで。
まあまあ、いざとなったら守ってやるさ。そんでフラン、そっちの方はどうだ？診療所は順調なんだろ？
うん、まあね、順調は順調なんだけど、場所が場所だけに事件も多くてさ。この間なんてひどかったよ。シャーリーが風邪をひいた時にダリウスさんが心配のあまり暴れ出して。
Everyone seems to be having fun. The ornaments sparkle and shine as they are lit by the light of the lamps. I walk around the table, exchanging words with the others. Getting together like this, after so long, we naturally tell our stories to each other. Lupin and Impy's heroic stories of escape in the setting of Paris, and Hansling and Deli seem to be in negotiations every day against veteran politicians. Even Victor's clinic, I assumed was peaceful, has gotten him involved with the mafia. The way everyone laughed endlessly, I felt as if life was coming back to this mansion. Peeking out of the window, I noticed the snow had died down a lot. A gap in the clouds is beginning to show. Then... oh? Did they all leave you? I look around and notice that I cannot find Saint-Germain, who had been listening to everyone moments ago. I wonder where he went. Guided by a hunch, I stop outside of the common room. He in the garden. Leaving the bustle of the party, a silence unique to winter seeps into my body. Ahead is the entrance hall. Saint-Germain stands alone at the entrance. He isn't doing anything in particular, just staring absent-mindedly at the snowy sky. Saint-Germain, this is where you went. A place like this all alone, aren't you cold?
ああ、いえ、少々酔ってしまったので、酔いざましに歩こうかと思いまして。
He replies with his usual smile, and as silence falls between us for a while. I wonder if I can say it out loud in regards to the one matter earlier. While I was busy thinking of words to say, Saint-Germain begins to speak first.
ここまで笑い声が響いてきますね。みんな、楽しそうで何よりです。
Yeah, you seem happy too, Saint-Germain.
もちろん、嬉しいですよ。久々に会った皆が、こんなにも楽しんでくれているのですから。
Well, thanks to you, Saint-Germain, you invited us all here. Nodding slightly, Saint-Germain looks at the snow whirling in the sky.
仲間を集めるという意味では少しだけ自分の中でためらいがありました。かつてイデアの計画のために騙すような形であなたたちをこの屋敷に集めた人物、そんな私が皆を呼ぶ権利など果たしてあるのだろうかと。
Of course you do. You don't need any special right to gather other members. Besides, everyone wanted to gather of their own volition. That goes for me too, of course. No need for you to hold reservations.
ありがとうございます。他の皆さんに言われるのももちろん嬉しいのですが、やはりあなたの口から来たかったと言われるのが一番嬉しい。
In the faint light of the winter sky, Saint-Germain grins, seems gentler tonight than usual. The heat from my chest is so widespread throughout my body that he'd surely find out if he touched me.
先ほどもそうです。あなたと再会したことでつい気持ちを隠せなくなってしまった。本当はあそこまで言うつもりはなかったんですけどね。
And wanting to see everyone, you really meant that you wanted to see me?
ええ、もちろん。
But then why haven't you been coming to the mansion in Wales? I tried to be careful with my words so it would not sound like criticism, but even so, there is no way to avoid those words containing loneliness. Smiling as if troubled to hear that, instead, Saint-Germain asks me,
あなたはどうしてだと思いますか？
It's because you didn't have any reason to come anymore. Hansel told me just a bit about how your mission to watch me is complete. I couldn't help my voice shaking just a little. How you stopped coming around the time it had ended, so I thought that since you finished your mission, you wouldn't want to see me anymore.
そんなことはありえませんよ。
Saint-Germain reaches out and touches my head. The way he pats my head so dearly, it feels so gentle.
先ほどの言葉は嘘ではありません。私はあなたとずっと一緒にいたいと思っている。
Pausing his sentence, he spills out the words as if he surrendered.
私がどんな任務についていたかはあなたももう知っているでしょう。時と場所を問わずに世界各地を訪れ、正しき歴史を導くために任務に従事する。何年何十年がかりの仕事も少なくない。今でこそ任務を終えた空白期間ですが、近いうちに再び任務が下れば必ずそれを果たさなければなりません。それがあなたと会えない地の果てでの数十年がかりの任務だったとしても。
Is that why you avoided me?
ええ。待つ立場の辛さは一番よくわかりますから。
But
何よりイデアの任務は主に粛清です。仮にあなたが私の帰る場所になってくれたとしても、どんな正当な理由があったとしても、 人を殺して帰ってきたその足であなたに迎え入れてほしくはない。
I can honestly understand how he feels. Like, it's such a delicate situation. His sad smile tells me he hadn't planned to say this to me. I was told things by Hansel and the others, so I assumed I only got pieces of the story. But idea was darker than I had imagined. I can't reply to those words. Whether to be there for his pain or to understand his sadness, my current self can't step in any further. I don't have the time to step in that distance. But there was no way I couldn't keep quiet, and when I tried to open my mouth, what prevents me is not Saint-Germain's words, but the sudden sound of a wheelchair.
楽しんでいるようね、さん。
She was invited to the party? I couldn't feel the presence at all. Along with the sound of wheels that squeaked, a figure appears from the darkness. A woman who is in a wheelchair. Behind the woman who smiles sweetly, I see a familiar face accompanying her. Hansel.
久しぶり、カルディア。
I guess the other two were technically invited. I know Hansel, but I don't recognize the old lady or the woman next to her. Who are you guys? Lightly scrunching my brows in question, the tall woman makes a nod of understanding.
そういえば、直接会うのは初めてだったわね。私の名はギネビア。サンやヘンゼルと同じイデアの使徒が一人。そして、
はじめまして、お嬢さん。私はオムニブス。
At least she's not calling her the cursed child anymore.
サンの所属している秘密結社、イデアの総帥を務めているわ。
You're the leader of Idea. I remember Saint-Germain and Hansel telling me a few times, if she's the leader of Idea, then that means she's the one who planned to kill me and Finnis in order to prevent Code Realize.
カルディアだったわね。あなたのことはよく知っているわ。
There are no signs of hostility, but my body stiffens up and starts to tremble. As if to protect me, Saint-Germain takes one step forward.
オムニブス、あなたが来たということは休暇も終わりということですか？
残念そうね、サンジェルマン。少し前は時間を持て余して仕方ないと言っていたのに。
時間とはそういうものでしょう。惜しいと思った時にこそ駆け去っていくものです。
Saint-Germain's resigned expression is staring at my heart. When this leader opens her mouth next, I wonder if the days of executing missions for Idea will come to Saint-Germain once again. Just like it has always been up until now for hundreds and thousands of years. Omnibus slowly opens her mouth. Wanting to cut her off, I desperately shout. Please wait.
カルディアさん。
Wait, please wait. Don't take Saint-Germain away. Hansel looks down at me with sorrowful eyes as I begin to speak without an argument.
悪いけど、カルディア。イデアにとってお母さんの任務は絶対。そこに市場の入る余地はないよ。
ええ、そうね。気まぐれで任務を取りやめられてはイデアという組織が成り立たない。不死の力を持つイデアの使徒が好き勝手に動いてしまってはそれこそ世界が危ういでしょ。
それはトリスメギストスへの皮肉ですか。
Glancing at Saint-Germain, who scoffs, Omnibus opens her mouth once again and sighs as if she has been let down.
さん、どうもあなたは私が来ることイコールそのまま任務だと思っているようね。何か勘違いをしているようだけど、私はパーティーを楽しみに来ただけよ。
She just wants to party.
は？
Huh? What? Both Saint-Germain and I can't help but let out shocked exclamations. Omnibus's eyes crinkle as she laughs.
ヘンゼルとギネビアから聞いたわ。イデアも参加していいのでしょう。
間違いなく。準備を手伝った時に言ったわね。参加しても構わないと。
あと、お菓子は全部僕が食べていいって。
Guinevere grins as if she won the upper hand.
まあ、パーティー参加というのは半分冗談なのだけど、一度直接挨拶だけはしてみたかったのよ。私の予言を覆した一味にね。
Enjoying our dumbfounded response, Omnibus starts to move, accompanied by the two.
ああ、そうそう。さん、ついでに言っておくけれど、私はあなたにお休みがいつ終わると伝えた覚えはないわ。あなたも知っての通り、私たちは人と時間の感覚が違うのだから。あなたの休暇は10年、20年、100年以上かもしれないわね。
So in other words, go enjoy your life with Cardia.
サボっていないで任務を果たしなさい。休暇という名の任務をね。
This mission called Break.
イデアにとってお母さんの任務は絶対だからね。
Saint-Germain and I look at each other, both wearing expressions of astonishment. It looks like we'll be needing a moment to understand what's going on. In any case, for now.
感謝します。オムニブス。
あれ、お客さんって。はあ、ヘンゼル、なんでお前が来たんだ。帰れよ。
Go home.
おや、あの時の鎧のお姉様？
I know. Everyone fought Gwynbra. They're like,
イデアの総帥だと。一体何がどうなっている？
Those poor guys. They're probably terrified.
おい、サン、どこ行った？ちゃんと説明しろ。サン。
I heard a lot of confusion and screaming from our friends, but Saint-Germain and I only look at each other once again.
まさかクリスマスの夜にこんなプレゼントが待っていたとは。
Aww.
本当にあなたとルパン一味と関わり始めてからは予想外のことばかり起きますね。
Yeah, in regards to Omnibus, I met her for the first time, but she was far more kind-sounding old lady than you made her out to be.
あの一幕を見てその感想とは、あなたは本当に芯が強い。
So you'll be on break then, in regards to your job to guide the world.
ええ。 もちろんこれで今までの自らの成したことがなくなったわけではありませんが、これからどうしていくかをあなたと共に考えることができる。それが何より嬉しい。実際自分で言うのもなんですが、今の私は新たな任務を与えられてもまともに遂行できるとは思えません。あなたのことだけで頭がいっぱいになっていますから。
Well, I feel a little embarrassed, but happy. Quiet laughter filled our holy night.
カルディアさん、雪ももう収まったようですし、少し街へ繰り出してみませんか？
Oh, you know, I read in the newspaper that there was going to be a ceremony or something.
ええ。町の人たちもそれに合わせて大々的に店を出したりするそうで、悪天候で自粛していた人たちもそろそろ店を開いているかもしれません。
The whole city is decorated in Christmas style, just as the mansion had been. The main street decorated by flowers and trees, and every step we take, the delicious smell of food teases me. Beholding such a scene makes my chest feel like it's about to dance in the festive atmosphere. Yes, I would like to go too.
決まりですね。
Can you hold on for a moment? I have to tell everyone we'll be out.
いいえ。
It's a secret. Saint-Germain's fingertip reaches over and stops my lips. Hmm? I'm surprised by the tickling warm sense of touch. Saint-Germain draws a mischievous smile.
ダメですよ、カルディアさん。あなたと二人でデートだなんて言ったら、絶対に邪魔されるに違いありませんから。
This is why Saint-Germain is my favorite. He just casually says things like this in a very playful tone. I like it.
だからこれは私とあなた二人っきりの秘密のデートです。
Secret, just the two of us. I don't know why, but those words are also quite ticklish.
それにあの一味ならばイデア相手でもしっかりもてなすでしょうから。
I think you might be right. Venice is there for Hansel too.
さあ、レディー、どうかこの素敵な一夜にエスコートの栄誉を。
And then he says the gentleman lines on top of all his teasing. Oh, but of course, please do.
光栄ですよ。
Perhaps he wasn't able to hold any longer, and he reaches his hand out to me. Saint-Germain takes my hand and softly kisses the back of it.
さあ、二人で最高の一夜を送りましょう。カルディア。
Is that really the end? Okay, good. I was going to be upset, but still, I wanted to go out on that date with them. Dang it. The more joyful a moment, the quicker it passes. They say things like this often, but the week after Christmas passes in an instant. Every day I would walk out into the city with everyone, looking out at the nostalgic cityscape. Or rejoice in my reunion with the old friends like Sholmes and Shirley and the family. Every morning, every evening, we forget time and engage in conversations until late. Finally, the day to depart arrived. Today is the day that Finis and I are going to head back to Wales once again. Our faces don't display any sadness though, because we must gather everyone again sometime. At St. Germain's mansion, of course. The air is clear this winter day and the sun shines in a way as if to forget the snow. We had gathered around inside the station where the smoke from the train below.
そりゃもちろんマイプリンセス。
まあつっても俺とインピーはまだまだしばらくはサンの屋敷に滞在する予定だけどな。
僕も忙しくはあるけどロンドンにはいるわけだから呼ばれたらすぐ駆けつけるよ。
我々も英国内は一周したからな。以後は吸血鬼の権利をより認めさせるために政府筋との交渉がメインとなる。
自然とロンドンへ来る機会も増えるというわけだな。
となると意外だね。今度は逆に僕たちが一番ここに来るのに時間がかかるわけか。
Oh, you're right. That's exactly how it would be. I have confidence that we will meet again. Taking the longest time, it kind of feels like it would be a waste, as I feel slightly disappointed.
カルディアさん。
Without hesitation, Saint-Germain says these next words to me.
なら私と一緒に暮らしませんか？
I know, right? I'm like, why are you leaving? What?
ああ、もちろん今すぐにとは言いませんよ。ただできるだけ早い方が私は嬉しいのですが。
All the members gathered, including myself, have no words to say to Saint-Germain. Even so, the first to come back to his senses is my little brother whose face has gone red.
待て待て待て待て、どうして突然そうなるんだよ。
どうしてと言われましても理由は至極単純です。1分でも1秒でも私はカルディアさんと少しでも長く寄り添っていたい。
Those words were most justified as they came from Saint-Germain, someone who had lived in solitude for such a long time. Yes, because it was said by him, who very well knows of the preciousness of the normal happiness right now, more than anyone else. I'll be living in your mansion again, like part of the crew?
いいえ、もちろん違います。今度は家族としてです。あ、もちろんあなたもですよ、フィーニス。賑やかな方が楽しいですし、いずれ弟になるわけですしね。
I love how he's announcing this like he's already proposed to her, but he hasn't.
誰が弟だ。あとついでみたいに言うな。
伯爵って相変わらずすごい人だね。
間違いなく変わり者だからな。むしろこういった事態が起きてもさほど驚きがない自分に驚く。
だな。それにお前が屋敷に戻ってくるなら俺たちとしてももちろん歓迎するぜ。
は、そうだ。屋敷に戻ってきてくれるならまだ略奪愛もワンチャン。
You're pretty brave to say that in front of Saint-Germain.
無理だろうな。きっと虚しさで滅びてしまうからやめておけ。
Innes cannot stop grinding his teeth, and the others try their best to pacify him. I'm attached to our home in Wales as well, so I'm not planning to leave immediately. I also think it would take a long time to convince this little brother of mine too. But once Finnis is persuaded, and if my heart still feels this heat, when the time comes, I am certain.
以前あなたがウェールズへ向かうときは微笑んで送るだけでしたが、
But
今度は私のわがままを通させてください。
oh. Well, that was disappointing. I thought he was going to kiss her. Dang it. After the train's departure bell rang, Finis and I boarded the train to take our seats. I poked my head out the window, not to say goodbye, but to promise to reunite with everyone soon. Alright everyone, I'll see you again soon. The locomotive blows out steam and the wheels start to slightly creak. Everyone waves at me all at once.
Ah.
What did you forget? As if suddenly remembering, Saint-Germain hits one fist against an open palm.
すみません、カルディアさん。こちらに忘れ物があるのですが。
Raising his lightly clenched right hand, Saint-Germain starts to walk towards me. What did I...
はい、忘れ物。
Why couldn't you do that before she got on the train? Ah.
確かに。お届けしましたよ。
Don't lose. It's so cute. With a pecking sound, a sweet, maddening feeling touches my lips. Oh? It was on the lips. Why couldn't we get that in the CG? Like, I thought he just did it on the cheek. It's for a split second, but its softness, its tenderness, makes me feel an eternal heat inside. And the culprit is presenting his best smile right in front of me. What? Why did you do that now?
約束をするなら当然。誓いの口づけは必要でしょ?
I love him so much. Like, in this one, I mean, their feelings are conveyed through their words, but they haven't specifically said, like, I love you and stuff like that. But it's all assumed. he just does what he wants with her now. I really like the bold guys, if you can't tell.
さあ、カルディアさん。私のキスへのお返事は?
I will promise you that no matter what, I will not let you be here alone. I will return. Aww. This time I gently bring my lips closer to him. His sweet kiss that almost feels unfair is something I will never forget.
それなら私はあなたがいつ戻ってきてもいいように待っているとしましょう。ですが、あまり待たされすぎるとどこかの誰かのようにさらいに行ってしまうかもわかりませんが。
He totally would too. I mean, in his route he did kind of kidnap her. I would be happy about that. Really. If I could be kidnapped by Saint-Germain, I'd probably stay at my mansion too until he came for me. Parting from a blissful Saint-Germain, the train begins to move as if it had paused to wait for us to finish.
ずるいぞサンちゃん。そんなこと言うなら俺だってプリンセスさらいに行っちゃうかんね。
I'm gonna murder you.
よし、では世もさらいに行くぞ。純血の吸血鬼の力見せつけてくれる。
Speaking of power of a vampire, Impy's a vampire too. He's probably stronger than you.
それはまさか私も手伝うのか?
Will I be assisting?
当然ではないか。
いっそ一味全員でさらいに行くのも面白いかもな。
I'm like, if anyone's kidnapping someone, it's Lupin, right?
僕たちらしいといえば僕たちらしいけどね。
来るなら来てみろ。罠を仕掛けて全員撃退してやるからな。
You're gonna set traps all over the mansion. Really? Our crew is so lively until the very end. Watching it makes me feel both fun and happy. I lean out the window and wave my hand as I smile. Everyone, Saint-Germain, I will come back.
必ず待っていますよ。この世界で一番愛しいあなたを。
Under the blue skies that continue infinitely, I raise my voice not to be muffled by the train's whistle and vow. I'll come back, no matter what. To my wonderful friends, and to the important place where my dearest is always smiling. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm still gonna have to do all these. all these seaside stories. Anyway, dang it. I thought that was gonna stay there. Oh well. Well, I guess I can't watch that. I can't look at that while I talk, but anyway. I have to admit, I'm not as satisfied with this story as I was with Victor's. I don't know. I guess it's because he didn't get to spend very much time with her. It was a lot of him just being really lonely and really sad, which was kind of depressing. And he didn't get to spend much time with her. And when he did, I mean, they didn't even get to go to the festival. So, and I think I was disappointed in the first playthrough with that too. If they would have added the festival, I would have felt like they would have had enough time together to make this feel like an ending Christmas story to Finis' route, but it didn't feel like that. There was only one CG with him too, besides like him, the hallucination CG. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. Definitely liked his two stories in the other games better. Anyways, that is it for Saint-Germain, and I'll be doing Lupin's next because, you know, next favorite in line. So, although I do have a really cute CG spoiled of MP, so that is pretty tempting to do because I need to read it. But also, I mean, Lupin is just Lupin, and Lupin is also a gentleman, or he speaks kind of formally like that. He's very jealous of people. Very jealous of Saint-Germain. Saint-Germain and Lupin have like this rivalry in most of the games. Lupin even threatened to take away Cardia from Saint-Germain in Future Blessings. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.